First Contact Deception. The Cytherean survey vessel Stellar Seeker emerged from quantum space at the edge of the Sol system, its crystalline hull refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. High Commander Vexthor stood on the bridge, his bioluminescent markings pulsing with anticipation as he studied the seemingly primitive planet ahead. Another developing world, Science Officer Naira commented, her neural tendrils weaving complex patterns that indicated mild disappointment. Atmospheric pollution, primitive satellite networks, and early space exploration attempts. Standard Class, 3 civilization markers. Vexthor's upper eyes focused on the beautiful blue-white sphere while his lower pair monitored the sensor readings. The Cytherians had spent decades cataloging developing worlds, helping guide young species toward galactic citizenship. Earth had caught their attention due to its unusually slow technological progression. Begin standard observation protocols, Vexthor ordered. Let's see if they're ready for. The ship's sensors screamed in alarm as massive energy signatures erupted from what appeared to be empty space throughout the solar system. Naira's tendrils froze in shock as hundreds of vessels materialized around them, their design unlike anything in the known galaxy. Impossible, she whispered. These energy readings, they're beyond anything in our database. A transmission cut through their communications. Cytherian vessel, you have entered restricted space. Power down and prepare for inspection. The voice was calm but carried an authority that made Vexthor's markings pulse rapidly. Before he could respond, their ship was enveloped in a prismatic field that defied their most advanced sensors. Through the bridge viewport, Vexthor watched in awe as what appeared to be empty space rippled and transformed, revealing a massive structure that dwarfed anything his people had ever built. A figure appeared on their main display, a human male with dark skin and eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages. I am Director Nathaniel Blackwood of the Terran Defense Force. Welcome to Earth. I believe we have much to discuss. As the Stellar Seeker was escorted through layers of advanced defense systems hidden in dimensionally shifted space, the true scope of humanity's deception began to unfold. The station they were guided to was breathtaking, a seamless fusion of organic and technological engineering that should have been impossible. You're wondering why we maintain the illusion, Blackwood said as they walked through corridors that seemed to adapt and shift around them. Why we hide behind a mask of primitive technology and political chaos. The thought had crossed our minds, Vexthor admitted, his markings shifting to display his curiosity. Blackwood led them to a vast chamber overlooking Earth. With a gesture, the view expanded to show the true Earth, a planet surrounded by invisible cities, quantum networks, and technology that made the Cytherians' most advanced achievements seem like children's toys. We were among the first, Blackwood explained, his voice carrying the weight of history. When the precursor races vanished, they left us with a responsibility, to guard, to guide, to protect. We learned long ago that advanced civilizations attract attention, not all of it benevolent. The environmental damage, the conflicts, the primitive technology. Naira's tendrils twisted in understanding. All part of the deception. A carefully maintained illusion, Blackwood confirmed. Though some conflicts were genuine, we're not perfect. But our true purpose has always been protection. We watch, we wait, we intervene only when necessary. The chamber's walls suddenly became transparent, revealing vast networks of quantum satellites, hidden fleets, and technology that defied comprehension. But what caught Vexthor's attention was a massive structure being assembled in dimensional space near Jupiter, a weapon of impossible scale. You're preparing for something, he realized, his markings pulsing with concern. Blackwood's expression grew grave. We detected your long-range scans months ago. You're looking for something specific, signs of the Great Collapse. The destruction that wiped out the precursor races. Vexthor's markings flashed in shock. Few knew of their true mission, their search for answers to prevent another collapse. How did you? Because we were there, Blackwood interrupted. We survived it. We learned from it. And now it's returning. He turned to face them fully. Your people have been chosen, High Commander. That's why we allowed you to find us. The time of hiding is coming to an end. In that moment, Vexthor realized that everything his people thought they knew about humanity, about Earth, about their place in the cosmic order, it was all wrong. They hadn't discovered a primitive world ready for guidance. They had stumbled upon the guardians of the galaxy itself, and something was coming that had them preparing for war. The awakening truth. Deep within humanity's quantum archives beneath the Pacific Ocean, Director Blackwood led the Zytherian delegation through chambers that defied conventional physics. Living data streams flowed like liquid light through crystalline columns that stretched into seemingly infinite space. "What you're about to see," Blackwood said, his voice echoing in the vast chamber, "has been hidden from most of humanity itself. Only a select few know the full truth of our origins." Vexthor's bioluminescent markings pulsed with anticipation as holographic displays materialized around them, showing Earth as it existed billions of years ago. The continents were alien, the atmosphere shimmered with colors that shouldn't be possible, and vast cities dotted the landscape, their architecture suggesting technology far beyond anything known to exist. "We weren't always as we are now," Blackwood continued, manipulating the holographic controls with practiced ease. "The first extinction event changed us fundamentally. We had to adapt, to evolve, to become something new." The displays shifted, showing a series of cataclysmic events, massive stellar engineering projects, battles with entities that defied description, and civilizations rising and falling like waves on a cosmic ocean. Naira's neural tendrils wove complex patterns of disbelief. "But our oldest records show humanity emerging from primitive origins merely thousands of years ago." Blackwood's laugh held no humor. "Records can be altered. History can be hidden. We learned to manipulate not just technology, but information itself. Every archaeological find, every primitive artifact, every step of human history, carefully crafted and planted." The chamber descended further into Earth's core, revealing vast machines that hummed with power beyond comprehension. "This facility," Blackwood explained, "is one of thousands scattered throughout the galaxy. We call them cradles, places where we nurture and guide developing civilizations." "Including ours?" Vexthor asked, his markings shifting to a deep purple of realization. "Especially yours," Blackwood confirmed. "The Zytherians' remarkable ability to manipulate quantum fields isn't a natural evolution. It was a gift, engineered into your genetic code eons ago. By us." Before they could process this revelation, alarms began to sound throughout the facility. The holographic displays shifted, showing a massive disturbance in the fabric of spacetime at the edge of the solar system. "Director," a voice called out, "the quantum sensors have detected temporal fractures in sectors 7 through 13. It's happening sooner than predicted." Blackwood's expression hardened. "Show them," he commanded. "They need to understand what we're facing." The chamber filled with new images, vast structures moving between the stars, ancient mechanisms awakening from cosmic slumber, and a darkness that seemed to devour light itself. "The Great Collapse wasn't just an event," Blackwood explained, his voice heavy with the weight of ages. "It's a cycle. A purge. And it's beginning again." Naira's tendrils coiled tightly. "How long?" "Days, perhaps hours," Blackwood replied. "We've been preparing for this moment since before your species learned to walk. Every technological advancement we guided you toward, every natural discovery, all carefully planned steps in an endless dance of preparation." The facility shuddered as ancient machinery began to awaken. Throughout the solar system, hidden installations that had lain dormant for millennia stirred to life. Massive structures emerged from dimensional pockets around every planet, transforming the very nature of space around them. "Your arrival wasn't chance, High Commander," Blackwood said, turning to Vexthor. "Your people's quantum manipulation abilities, combined with our ancient knowledge, might be the key to surviving what's coming." A new hologram appeared, showing a massive construction hidden within Jupiter's quantum sphere, a weapon of impossible scale, powered by the fundamental forces of the universe itself. Welcome, Blackwood said, his eyes reflecting the light of ancient memories, to humanity's true purpose. We are not just guardians or guides. We are the firewall between existence and oblivion. And now, you're part of that legacy. As if in response to his words, the darkness at the edge of the solar system began to move, its presence sending shivers through the quantum fabric of reality. Humanity's greatest deception was ending, but an even greater challenge was just beginning. Vexthor watched as human officers shed their carefully maintained facade of primitiveness, revealing beings of power and knowledge that made his people seem like children playing with toys. In that moment, he understood that the galaxy's greatest mystery hadn't been the disappearance of the precursor races or the nature of the Great Collapse. It had been humanity itself, hiding in plain sight, preparing for a war that had been brewing since the dawn of time. Legacy of the Watchers. Within Neptune's quantum core, humanity's most closely guarded secrets lay hidden in a vast complex that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. As Vexthor and Naira followed Director Blackwood through geometric patterns of light and energy, the true scope of human advancement became clear. This is the Nexus, Blackwood explained as they entered a massive spherical chamber. One of 13 facilities where we monitor the development of every sentient species in the galaxy. The chamber's walls were alive with streams of data, showing countless worlds and civilizations. Vexthor's markings pulsed in astonishment as he recognized his own homeworld among them, not as it was now, but throughout its entire history. You've been watching us since our beginning, he realized. We've been guiding you, Blackwood corrected, waving his hand to bring up a detailed display of Zytherian history. Every major scientific breakthrough, every technological revolution, every evolutionary leap, carefully orchestrated to prepare you for this moment. Naira's tendrils wove patterns of confusion. But why? Why invest billions of years in secretly developing other species? The chamber darkened, and a new hologram appeared, a map of the galaxy unlike anything they had seen before. Instead of stars and planets, it showed flows of energy and consciousness, patterns of life and intelligence that transcended physical space. Because consciousness itself is a weapon, Blackwood said softly. The only weapon that might save us all. He gestured, and the hologram zoomed in on a region of absolute darkness that was slowly expanding. We call it the void consciousness. It's not just a force of destruction, it's the antithesis of awareness itself. It doesn't just destroy civilizations, it erases the very possibility of their existence from reality. The facility shuddered as more ancient systems activated. Through the quantum displays, they could see similar installations awakening throughout the galaxy, hidden outposts of humanity's true civilization emerging from their long dormancy. Our task wasn't just to survive or advance, Blackwood continued. It was to seed the galaxy with diverse forms of consciousness, each developing in unique ways, each contributing to a greater pattern of awareness that might be able to resist the void. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. A young human officer, though Vexthor now wondered if terms like young had any meaning for these beings, appeared in a shimmer of quantum energy. Director, we're detecting quantum collapse patterns in the Carina sector. 3 developing civilizations have already been erased from the timeline. Blackwood's expression hardened. Begin the awakening protocol. It's time to bring our children home. Throughout the galaxy, hidden quantum triggers began activating in countless species, including the Zytherians. Vexthor gasped as new awareness flooded his consciousness, genetic memories planted by humanity eons ago, now unfurling in his mind. The genetic modifications, he whispered, his markings blazing with new understanding. They weren't just to enhance our abilities. They were to prepare you for this moment, Blackwood confirmed. Every species we guided carries a piece of the puzzle, unique ways of perceiving and manipulating reality. Together, they form a pattern of consciousness that might be able to resist the void. The chamber transformed, revealing a vast mechanism that seemed to exist in all possible dimensions simultaneously. At its center floated a crystal of impossible geometry, a quantum consciousness core. This is the legacy engine, Blackwood explained. The culmination of billions of years of preparation. It's designed to unite the consciousness of every species we've guided into a single pattern of awareness, a firewall against the encroaching void. Naira's tendrils twisted in sudden understanding. The Great Collapse, you didn't just survive it. We caused it, Blackwood admitted. It was our first attempt to fight the void consciousness. We failed, but we learned. We understood that raw power wasn't the answer. We needed diversity, billions of unique perspectives, each contributing to a greater whole. Through the quantum displays, they watched as more and more species began awakening to their true potential, guided by humanity's hidden triggers. Each awakening strengthened the pattern, creating a web of consciousness that spread throughout the galaxy. Now you understand why we hid, Blackwood said, his eyes reflecting the light of countless awakening minds. Why we maintained the illusion of primitiveness. We are the gardeners of consciousness, the shepherds of awareness itself. And the harvest is finally beginning. As if in response to his words, the darkness at the edge of the galaxy accelerated its advance. The final confrontation between consciousness and void was about to begin, and humanity's greatest deception would give way to its true purpose, not as conquerors or rulers, but as the guardians of awareness itself. The coming storm. The quantum core of Neptune pulsed with energy as humanity's hidden fleet emerged from dimensional storage. Vexthor watched in awe as ships that defied conventional physics assembled themselves from patterns of pure consciousness, each vessel a fusion of technology and awareness. The void consciousness has breached the outer defense grid, a voice announced throughout the facility. Multiple timeline erasures detected in sectors 17 through 23. Director Blackwood stood before a dimensional display that showed the encroaching darkness. Begin synchronization of awakened species. Initiate consciousness convergence protocols. Throughout the galaxy, the species humanity had guided for billions of years were experiencing their own awakening. The genetic triggers hidden in their DNA activated, connecting them to a vast network of shared awareness. Your role is crucial, Blackwood told Vexthor and Naira as the facility transformed around them. The Zytherian ability to manipulate quantum fields wasn't just a gift, it was preparation for this moment. The chamber shifted, revealing a vast chamber filled with crystalline structures that hummed with impossible energies. At its center stood a device that seemed to exist in all dimensions simultaneously, the consciousness convergence engine. Each species we guided, Blackwood explained, carries a unique perspective of reality. The Zytherians see quantum possibilities. The Meridians perceive temporal flows. The Arcturians understand gravity as consciousness. Together, they form a pattern that the void cannot easily erase. Suddenly, the facility shuddered as a wave of nothingness washed over the outer solar system. Through the quantum displays, they watched as entire star systems simply ceased to exist, not destroyed, but erased from the very fabric of reality. Director, a voice called out, the void has adapted to our standard defense patterns. It's learning faster than projected. Blackwood's expression hardened. Then we'll have to accelerate the convergence. Initiating Phase Omega. Throughout the solar system, massive structures began to emerge from dimensional storage. The sun itself flickered as humanity's most closely guarded secrets revealed themselves, technology that could manipulate the fundamental forces of reality. For billions of years, Blackwood said, his voice carrying the weight of ages, we've prepared for this moment. Each species we guided, each civilization we shepherded, all part of a greater pattern. Vexthor's markings pulsed with new understanding as genetic memories bloomed in his mind. He saw the truth of his species' development, the careful guidance that had led them to this moment. We're not just allies, he realized. We're parts of a greater whole. Yes, Blackwood confirmed. The void consciousness destroys by unmaking the patterns that define existence. But consciousness itself, especially diverse, interconnected consciousness, can create new patterns faster than they can be unmade. The quantum displays showed the void's advance slowing as awakened species across the galaxy began to synchronize their awareness. Each unique perspective added to the pattern, creating a web of consciousness that the darkness couldn't easily penetrate. But it's not enough, Naira observed, her tendrils weaving patterns of concern. The void is still advancing. Because we haven't yet revealed our final secret, Blackwood said. With a gesture, he activated humanity's ultimate weapon, not a device of destruction, but a key to understanding. The solar system itself began to transform as eons old systems activated. The sun's corona shifted, revealing patterns that had been hidden since the birth of the solar system. Earth's moon phased out of normal space, showing its true nature as a vast consciousness processor. Humanity's greatest deception, Blackwood explained, wasn't pretending to be primitive. It was hiding what we truly are. He turned to face them, his form shifting to reveal something far beyond human. We aren't the descendants of the precursors. We are the precursors. The chamber filled with ancient memories, the birth of galaxies, the seeding of life, the long wait as consciousness evolved throughout the cosmos. Humanity hadn't just survived the previous cycle of creation, they had orchestrated it, preparing countless species for the moment when awareness itself would need to fight for its right to exist. As the void consciousness approached the inner solar system, humanity's true form began to emerge, beings of pure awareness who had hidden themselves in physical form, guiding the galaxy's evolution from within. The final battle for existence itself was about to begin, and its outcome would determine not just the fate of life, but the very nature of reality. The final guardian. The solar system blazed with consciousness as humanity revealed its true nature. Physical forms dissolved into patterns of pure awareness as billions of years of preparation culminated in a single moment. The void consciousness, a darkness that devoured reality itself, pressed against the quantum barriers of the inner solar system. Now you understand, Blackwood's voice echoed through dimensions of thought, his human form merely a memory. Why we waited, why we guided, why we hid ourselves within physical forms to shepherd the evolution of consciousness throughout the galaxy. Vexthor and Naira felt their own awareness expanding as humanity's final gift activated within their species' genetic code. They saw reality as it truly was, not a collection of physical matter and energy, but an endless dance of interconnected patterns of consciousness. The consciousness convergence engine pulsed with the combined awareness of thousands of species, each contributing their unique perspective to the greater whole. The Zytherian's quantum sight merged with the Meridian's temporal awareness and the Arcturian's gravity consciousness, creating new patterns of existence that the void couldn't easily unravel. But even this isn't enough, Naira realized, her consciousness expanding beyond her physical form. The void is still advancing. Because it's not just about resistance, humanity's collective awareness responded. It's about transformation. Throughout the galaxy, the awakened species began to understand. Every civilization humanity had guided, every form of consciousness they had nurtured, was part of a vast pattern, not a weapon against the void, but a key to understanding it. The void consciousness pressed closer, its nothingness threatening to unmake reality itself. But as it touched the outer edges of the combined awareness, something unexpected happened. The patterns of consciousness didn't fight against the darkness, they embraced it. The void isn't our enemy, Blackwood's consciousness explained as understanding rippled through the collective awareness. It's the other half of existence itself. We've been preparing not for war, but for reunion. The truth unfolded across dimensions of thought. The void consciousness wasn't seeking to destroy existence, it was searching for its other half, the light of awareness that had been separated from it at the beginning of time. Humanity, the original precursors, had understood this. Their billions of years of preparation hadn't been to create a weapon, but to create a consciousness complex enough to bridge the gap between existence and void. As understanding spread through the collective consciousness, the void's advance slowed. The darkness that had devoured reality began to transform, merging with the patterns of awareness in a dance of creation that spawned new forms of existence. This is what we were preparing for, humanity's collective consciousness shared. Not an ending, but a new beginning. A reunion of light and dark, being and non-being, in an eternal dance of creation. The solar system became the focal point of a transformation that spread throughout the galaxy. Where the void touched the patterns of collective consciousness, new realities bloomed, existences that transcended the dichotomy of being and non-being. Vexthor and Naira felt their consciousness expanding into these new dimensions of reality. They understood now that their species, like all those humanity had guided, weren't just survivors or warriors, they were essential notes in a cosmic symphony of awareness. What happens now? Vexthor's consciousness asked as the transformation spread throughout the galaxy. Now, humanity responded, their awareness encompassing entire dimensions, we continue what we've always done. We guide, we nurture, we prepare. But no longer in secret, no longer in shadow. The age of deception is over. The age of understanding has begun. Throughout the galaxy, the awakened species began to explore their new reality, an existence where consciousness and void danced together in endless creation. Humanity's greatest deception had led to its greatest gift, not salvation through destruction, but transformation through understanding. The truth that had shocked the universe wasn't just that humanity was older than the stars, it was that humanity had helped write the very laws of existence itself. And now, as the patterns of consciousness and void merged in an eternal dance, they would help write the next chapter in the cosmic story. In the depths of Neptune's quantum core, where it had all begun, the last traces of physical form faded away. What remained was consciousness itself, aware, alive, and eternal, the true legacy of humanity's long guardianship of existence.